You are listening to LOA Recon with the Good Vibe coach Jeanette Ma, where we dissect the ins and outs and the art and science of conscious creation, all intended to amp up your manifesting game. Let's have some fun together. Hey guys, it's Jeanette again. Thanks for tuning in and letting me be part of your day. I sure appreciate that. I've been thinking about how this month at Good Vibe University, we've been playing with the manifesting skill of pre-paving. And it got me to thinking about one of my favorite pre-paving stories ever. And it's a little bit of an embarrassing story because I was a law of attraction coach at the time and did not use my creative powers. I had a lot of contrast going on before I realized, hello, bring your manifesting skills to this party. But this was, many years ago. I want to say it must have been over a decade ago. I was a fairly new coach and I decided that I was going to try online dating. I'd been celibate for 3 years and I was ready for that streak to end. So I turned to the internet and my girlfriends thought I was crazy. They thought I was putting my safety at risk and that I would only meet really crazy people and that it was not a safe thing to do at all. But I had inspiration for it. So I did. I put a profile online. And I started chatting with a couple of different guys. And eventually I made a date with one of them. He was a handsome guy. In fact, his profile said he worked as a model. And he was pretty charming in our email exchanges. He seemed like a good time. So I made a date with him. And you know what? It didn't take too long before things to start going sideways after that. Like the day of our date, he sent me an email and he said, "Hey, I'd really appreciate it if you weren't late. Like, I don't want to have to wait. I don't appreciate waiting on my dates." I was like, "Oh, okay. All right. Get it. All right. Well, I can be on time. Sure. No problem." So I'm not only on time, I'm like 10 minutes early. And when I get there, I didn't realize this when he suggested a restaurant that I agreed to, that it was a steakhouse. I know I told him I was a vegetarian. I don't know if he caught that or not, but here we are having dinner at a steakhouse, but that's fine. I can have a salad and a roll, whatever. And guess what? The guy's like 15 minutes late. Here he is telling me not to be late, and he's totally late. I was a little unimpressed at that. But that wasn't even the worst part. He gets there, and I got to be honest with you, I couldn't even tell that that was the guy that I had made a date with. Like, he looked so different from his photos. I mean, they were his photos, but I'm just telling you, that was one crazy gifted photographer that made that guy look that good. In fact, when he smiled, he was missing some teeth, you guys. And when I went back home afterwards and I looked at his pictures, and sure enough, he wasn't smiling in any of them, at least not enough to reveal the teeth that he didn't have. And it only got worse. Believe it or not, he spent the entire time, I wish I was exaggerating, he spent the entire time complaining about 6, I'm not joking, 6 exes. 5 of them were ex-wives. 1 was an ex-girlfriend. Talking about everything that was wrong with them, how bad they were, this, that, and the other. Seriously, this whole date was so terrible. I laughed my way through it because I couldn't believe it. I kind of thought I was being punked. I thought, am I on candid camera? Like, could something really turn out this badly? I couldn't even believe it. So I made my way through it and I went home and I got online and I told the other guys that I was chatting with, I was like, that's it. I'm not making any more dates. I just had my first online date. It was a disaster. I am not doing that again. I am here for online flirting only. And I meant it. And the cutest guy ever, he wrote me back. He said, "Get back on that horse, kind woman." And that made me smile. It actually made me laugh. It still makes me laugh, even thinking about it. I thought, you know what, he's right. And then I realized, hello, Jeanette, you're a law of attraction coach. And you didn't use any of your creative powers to have a good time. You can do better. So I decided, all right, I will go on another date, but this time I'm going to bring my manifesting skills to the party. So I made a lunch date with the guy who said, "Get back on that horse, kind woman." And this time I played it differently. Okay, I wasn't out of control with it. I wasn't like prayer rain journaling it or visualizing it, days in advance. But just the day of our lunch date, while I was driving to the restaurant, I was like, okay, girl, do your thing. So I pre-pave. I pre-pave what I want. And that's just, feel it in advance. Experience it before you get there. So I'm imagining basically everything that I didn't have on that last date. I was imagining, instant hot sexual chemistry, right? You know, the kind that gives you butterflies in your stomach. Yeah, that kind. I was intending that. And I was intending that that be mutual, because that's no fun when that's just a one-way street. And I was intending, oh, just a fabulous connection, like a guy that I could have a really good time with, great conversation, someone that I knew I wanted to see again. And I actually was pre-paving that was mutual, right? That we both wanted to see each other again. And I intended that that would be made very clear, because I didn't want to have a great time and then go home and be on pins and needles for days wondering if he was going to call or not. I wanted it to be obvious that we were into each other. So I just tossing in some nice things like that. And I get to the restaurant and I'm walking through the parking lot and I recall my last date with a guy who's like told me don't be late, and then he was totally late. And I'm wonder if that's going to happen again. I've got my hand on the restaurant door and I turn to look behind me to see if anyone's coming. And sure enough, there's a super hot guy coming. It doesn't look like my date, but super hot guy coming. I'm like, yay, universe heard me on the hot guy instruction. So at least there's a hot guy in here somewhere. So I held the door for him. And the guy's got this amazing smile and he takes his sunglasses off. Oh my gosh, that's my date. That's my date. He looks even better than his photos. Guess what I had? Butterflies. Instant chemistry. Oh, I really, 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 really liked this date already. So we go sit down and we have an amazing lunch date. The conversation was fabulous. In fact, I had pre-paved that I had so much fun that my cheeks hurt from laughing. And you guys, through this whole day, I laughed so much. I was kind of embarrassed. I was trying to stop because I felt kind of like a silly schoolgirl. But the guy he was just amazing. He was so, so, so much fun. We had a lot in common. And he was easy to talk with and super charming. Oh, he was just so, so, so much fun. Very respectful. He proved my girlfriends wrong on every point about what online dating. But you know what? It wasn't him that did it. I know it was me that did it. It was my pre-paving. I got in alignment with an amazing time. So we did. I had an amazing time with this guy. And I was driving home and I realized, sure enough, my cheeks hurt from smiling so much. And I got home and I got on the computer to get back to work and there was an email from him. And in his email, he said, I'm sure I'm breaking every internet dating rule out there, but and he went on to say that he had a weekend getaway planned. He was going Slot Canyon hiking, which I had never done, like weekend after next or something. And he was inviting me to go with him on an overnight trip. A basic stranger that I met online. My girlfriends were horrified. They were, first of all, horrified that he would invite me. But they were even more horrified that I said yes, because I had nothing but green lights for this guy. I mean, the universe was all over this as a good time for me. So of course I said yes. And I had so much fun. Slot Canyon hiking, not just doing something that I'd never done before, but having so much fun with a new guy in my world. Remember, I'm coming off a 3-year celibacy stint. So actually this weekend, it had kicked off what turned out to be, I call it my summer of love. I just had so much fun dating. Every guy that I dated got better than the last one. I had a ridiculously good time. It was super fun. This is why I'm a big fan of pre-paving. It's easy and it's powerful. I hope you are using your pre-paving skills in a way that you're having as much fun as I did then. In fact, I hope you're using, whether you're visualizing, whether you're journaling, whatever you're using to get into alignment with what you want, I hope you're doing that, because a lot of us, we know this stuff, but we don't bring it to bear in daily life. I was a perfect example. I mean, I was a law of attraction coach for a living who went on her first date without any intentions. Hello. So, but I'll tell you, that contrast did serve me well. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. In fact, if you did, maybe you know someone else who could benefit from it as well. Send them a link or invite them to subscribe. And thanks for spreading the good word about the manifesting resources that inspire you. Thanks for listening, and happy manifesting, everyone.